Yeah, first of all, it's my first time at Join because I couldn't make it last year. So thanks, Lorenzo and Sjors and everyone else involved to get this thing started. Thank you very much. And thanks for having me. So yes, I built a spaceship with kids. Well, at least it's controller, kind of. And I'm going to tell you why I did it, how I did it, and what was so fun about it. But first of all, who am I? Well, I'm Alexander, or aka Pieper. Well, I was born in 1985. That is basically the golden era of video games for me, because that's the date the NES came around. And yeah, first I wanted to be a designer. Then it turned out I couldn't do this as well. So I got into coding, and then I founded Studio Fizbin, and I got other people that could design better than me. And yeah, we did the Inner World. It's a point-and-click adventure game. Released it 2 years ago. It was kind of successful in Germany, only in Germany. We didn't make it across the borders. But yeah, I'm very curious about electronics and stuff, and of course about multiplayer games. And yeah, so I did this spaceship thingy. First of all, where did I do this? So there's a project called Tinker Tank, and Tinker Tank started in 2013. It's a thing where there are workshops, basically for kids, also for adults, but we are aiming at kids, and we give them a lot of scrap and old toys. They destroy it and build new stuff out of it. So you can go to tinkertank.de and you'll find more information about that. But yeah, what I did do there was that I had some workshops, and then I made this Make Your Game workshop. And there we had like 2 days to design a game, well, do the game design, do the design of the graphics, and also build and code the shit. So why spaceships? And why this whole workshop? Well, basically because spaceships are awesome. Who does know this thing or recognizes it? Yay! It's the Steel Battalion controller. It's a very awesome thing, and it's very rare. I actually have one at home, but I have no space to build it up. It's a huge-ass controller built for one game and runs on the Xbox One. Huge controllers are awesome because it has many buttons, right? And you have many things to press, and there are lights going on and stuff like that. So what I thought was, how cool would it be if we could have that again? You know, you have one game, but you have a lot of buttons and a lot of stuff to do in this little game. In this game, you control basically a robot. So yeah, then I thought, hey, kids and electronics, this could go bad, but it will go good, of course. And of course, local multiplayer is fun, obviously. So that's why I did it. And yeah, how did I do it? As I already told you, it was 2 days. So first of all, we did like a 2-hour game design round where I talked to the kids and, yeah, what would you want to do? And some of the kids were like, I want to do Call of Duty 6, and then I had like to turn them around, and I was like, yeah, but how about something about the spaceship? And then hopefully I got one kid to be like, yeah, spaceships are cool, and I was like, yeah, you're a good kid, spaceships are awesome. And in the end we did this, what I wanted to do. So I separated, it was 10 kids, we made groups of 3, 3, and 4. And then we were like, okay, every one of you is going to build a controller for that spaceship game. And they were like, what? And we were like, yeah, you're going to do that. But first of all, you have to think about what you want to do. And they were like, yeah, I want to make, that Xbox controller, but I want to have the same, but it has to glow in all colors. And I was like, okay, this is going to be boring. And, why? And so first of all, I had a little problem with the game design because I had to try to force them to think, in another way than just basically doing an Xbox controller. And there was a very easy trick. I told the kids, okay, you have to play the game with your controller, but the competition is you have to make it as hard as possible because your parents are going to play. And then they were like, yes. So they started to come up with total different ideas. And yeah, how did I do that? So I used an Arduino and a lot of sensors and plugged it in wild, and they came up with a bunch of ideas. The Arduinos transmitted OSC messages. Who doesn't know OSC? Yeah, it's a bit technical. It's open sound control, but basically you can send it's easy to set up, and you can send messages over the network. So I sent the messages from the Arduinos that read the sensors to my machine, and there was the Unity game running. So the Unity game interpreted these messages, and basically I did something kind of happy fun times. I made a script where the input system was reading the messages, and so they could control the spaceship. And this is the result. So this is the fire controller. With that guy is a joystick actually, and this is the shields controller. They had a three-colored shield, and red absorbs red bullets and so on. But the kid was like, switching the colors is too easy if I have a button. Let's have a 4-digit code you have to enter for switching the color. Then we built that. And yeah, this is how they were playing it. So this, for example, is the throttle. They made an old kitchen machine, and with a distance sensor, you had to move it to adjust the throttle of the spaceship. And the most funny thing is, in the last 10 seconds I got, the laser controller, because they had a turret on the spaceship, and this was a joystick. Lovely thing. This was the group with 4 kids. So 2 kids had to control the spaceship with the gun turret with a joystick. And what they did was they built basically a joystick where you can switch the handle so that each kid has its own handle. And the handle was an action figure they glued on the, on the little stick. And then they were like, okay, we have a fire button. This is what this kid is smashing here. So it's a big button, and then he was like, yeah, fire, BAM! Here. And they were like, okay, it's a laser. How do you reload? Well, what is laser? It's light. And then we're like, okay, easy. We'll have a light that you turn on, and you have to point at a single point to reload. And this was super awesome. So, conclusion, it was super fun, and basically it became even more fun when the parents played, because the kids were masters at this game. And then they were like, hey, Dad, come on, play. And the dads were like, what? No. You have to take your mobile, turn on the light, and then point at this sensor. And what? And I mean, this moment where your 10-year-old kid explains to you how a light sensor works, this is why I did this. Thanks you very much.